I believe that my performance after 4 years of mayor will be first judged by the face in the mirror. And if that face in the mirror, because that's the face you can't lie to, if I feel that I have done less than I should have, could have, or this community expected of me, I'll make that decision that'll satisfy the Democrat appetite. I won't run. And if I come to the decision, and a lot of this is based upon other issues with Sandy and that, if we come to the conclusion that we have more to do, but we have done as well as humanly possible, then I will seek permission to have the privilege to serve as a mayor for another term. But that is the last and least of my thoughts at this time. My only thought is at this time, I want 2015, I think we're on the right track. I think we're seeing unemployment down. I think I've built within our institution of municipal government an economic development program that's working. I think that we've got a very responsive safety force program. We're building up our individuals there. And I think the men and women who work in the non-safety forces are feeling much better about what they do. We brought a different philosophy to government. We started out with, and we can talk about the challenges, but I'd rather defer that to the positives. When we started out, we had labor relations circumstances historically with the ASME group in Local 7. And I introduced a concept called interest-based bargaining, because I firmly believe that the most important asset that the city has is the employees who provide the services to this community, which at that point in time defines the quality of life in Toledo, Ohio. And so I went to the management team that I created, most of whom I allowed to stay, and I said to them, I said, this is a new world. We have an attitude around here that they work for us. And I said, that's the wrong attitude, because they do not work for you. As a fact, the fact is you work for them. It is your responsibility to make sure that they have every tool available in order to be successful in what they do, and I'm holding you responsible for it. So I want every employee of the city, when they arrive for work, to arrive knowing that they're going to be in an environment where they're respected and their quality of performance is going to be appreciated. And short of that, I'm not going to tolerate anything less. And it's so that everybody knows I'm not the union president, I'm the mayor of the city, but that is the philosophy that I believe the city needs to have in order to move forward in a constructive and productive way. And so we went through that, and there was a lot of pushback. Oh, this is pie in the sky, this is, a lot of that. And I said, well, you've got to look, we're going to do it, so you might as well just address it. This is the way it's going to be. And so for the first time in the history of this city, I went through two situations. They had a wage reopener that was due on January 1st. I met with them and I said, this is all we can afford. I've looked at what you've done, and this is it. And then this was ASME Local 7, and the commo officers. And then I went to then both of their contracts expired on 30th of June of this year. And I said to the leadership, ASME leadership, I said, now we're going into negotiations, and I expect it to be civil, and I expect it to be forthright, and you're going to have everything you need. I mean, the finance director is going to open up every single book that you want. You don't have to give me requests for public records. It's all there for you. And we ended up going through, and we ended up, for the first time in the history of the city of Toledo, ASME's contract was settled before. And in the spirit of negotiations, we didn't look for basic concession bargaining. We looked for balanced bargaining, and that's what it's all about. It's not. A concession sort of polarizes an issue. Balanced bargaining meets the reality of everybody involved, and that's what I tried to do. For the next 3 years, my hope is, and I believe it will become our community's reality, Toledo will not look the same. I am convinced that the path we are taking in downtown Toledo will return downtown Toledo to a vitality and a vibrancy that has not existed in this community for the past 20 years. I see those green lights of ProMedica being the green light of life in entertainment and community socialization. I see the rest of this city stabilizing. We're attuned to what's going on in the neighborhoods. And I go to the neighborhood meetings and I listen to what the neighbors have to say. And we're going to change that. And I have committed myself to East Toledo. There are two challenges over in East Toledo. I have to restore the pride of somebody who sits in East Toledo and feels that they're a second-class citizen of the city of Toledo. That has to be restored because that's not fair, and too long our municipal government has treated it that way. And I've got the Marina District, and that's a decision in 15 I'm going to have to make. I'm going to have to address that issue. Do I believe that the current owners of that property, or owner I guess at this time, they're going to advance? I don't think so. I think early into 2016 I must reach out to Ms. Yuan and say, would you object to me putting that property on the market even though we don't own it? Because I would like to help you, if you're not going to develop it, help you extricate yourself from it so that we all provide a pathway to the future, and we do it in a friendship. We do it with the right reasons, and we create a result that's going to be in the best interest of this community and sound public policy.